Hi there, this is Alvin, and welcome to Kickstart Commerce podcast, where we share search marketing and domain name investing strategies to help grow your business. So first of all, Happy New Year. We're kicking off a brand new year of Kickstart Commerce podcast. And so in today's episode, I'll discuss 9 domain predictions for 2019. So let's get things kicked off with number 1. My first prediction is that Google's .app domain extension will swell to over 550,000 registrations by the end of 2019. So at the time of this recording, Google's .app is basically setting at somewhere around about just a little over 350,000. So my estimation is that Google, especially since it has .app has great visibility, obviously being Google, the largest, I guess you'd say monopoly or search monopoly here on earth, or would you really categorize them as a media company? I mean, they're doing a little bit of everything. Either way it goes, their .app domain extension has visibility, great visibility, especially amongst the developer community, and is likely to be used. My guess is it's never going to top .com, but like I said, hey, .app serves the app development market, the application development ecosystem, and so my belief is that another 200,000 domains are likely to be registered. We'll see what happens by the end of the year. So number 2 is that the NamesCon right of the dot live auction will garner $2 million in sales, and that's the live auction. Obviously, those domains that don't sell during the live auction will then be auctioned off for I believe it's like another 30 days after the event. Nevertheless, in 2018, the same auction, it was I think it was like either over $1 million or 1.1 million, something like that. And so I'm going out on a limb to say that with Brent Oxley's domains already entered into the 2019 NamesCon right of the dot live auction, I think they may garner $2 million in that live. So that's my prediction number 2. Moving right along, my third prediction for 2019 is that there will be 5 7-figure .com domain sales reported by DN Journal. Now, really going out on a limb on this. Why? Because there were only 2 reported sales in 2018. Those sales were ice.com, which sold for, I believe, $3.5 million. And then the other was Super, and I think Super, I'm not sure if it was associated with the NamesCon auction. I may have that incorrect, but I believe it was. But nevertheless, it sold for $1.2 million. So those are only 2 reported sales in 2018 for the DN Journal. That being said, going from 2 to 5, 7-figure, and that's a tall order, but hey, we're rolling along in 2019. A lot of people think that this is the year for domains that we're going to go over the top, and so we'll find out likely this time next year. So then moving right along, number 4 is, so the fourth prediction here is that 3 non.com GTLD sales of $750,000 or more will be reported by DN Journal by year end of 2019. So that's all kind of coming from based on what happened last year. So last year in 2018, there were quite a few sales, but specifically in this range, $500,000 to $1 million, there were 3 sales specifically that happened. One being home.loans, which sold at, I believe, like $500,000 or just over that. And then the second was vacation.rentals. And I believe it was $500,000 as well, or maybe just shy, not shy of it, but over it. But then there was one in June, online.casino, which was $510,000. And so there were 3 sales, non.com GTLD sales that topped $500,000. So I'm thinking that in 2019 that there will be 3, but this time they're going to be equal to or greater than $750,000. Now, here's a bit of insight. So there's a lot of back and forth around the non.com GTLD sales or the new domain extension sales. And it's this. A lot of people think that, vacation.rentals, online.casino, that these sales are happening as people are just fabricating news just to say, oh, the new domain extensions are working. I mean, that seems like a lot of hoops to jump through to, just for no benefit or just for a quick, interview or press release. That just doesn't seem to top it for me. I mean, time will tell. I mean, obviously, we'll look and have to see our home.loans, vacation.rentals, online.casino. Are these domains that are actually developed into profitable or viable businesses? We'll have to wait and see. But that's kind of the lay of the land. A lot of people don't necessarily think. They just think it's a PR stunt on behalf of Donuts or even other registries that are selling new domain extensions. So that being said, we'll just have to see if this prediction number 4 of having 3 new domain extensions sell for $750,000 by the year end of 2019 and reported by DN Journal. We'll see if that happens. So moving right along, number 5, and this one is a hot topic right about now, seeing that by time this recording airs, NamesCon it's at the beginning of January, NamesCon will be at the end of the month. But this next prediction is that going forward, 2020 and beyond, NamesCon will reduce ticket prices by 20%. So it was interesting. I was perusing Name Pros, as I normally do every few days, and I ran across a thread where people were starting to challenge whether or not NamesCon was an overpriced event for the value that's being received. And so, in all fairness to NamesCon now, from the time, so I attended for the first time in 2018, and I didn't pay full price. I actually won a ticket via domain name. Was it domain name wire? No, it wasn't domain name wire. It was actually Domain Shane and the Accidental Domainer. So dsad.com. I actually won a ticket, I believe, from them as well as to the water night, to the water school night. And essentially, so I didn't necessarily have to pay that time. Now, fast forward to where we're at today, a year later. What's interesting is that coming out of NamesCon last year, they were offering discounts. I mean, if you were there at the event last year, they said, hey, go ahead and buy your ticket now. You can buy it for, I believe it was like $199 or $299. And so I waited a little bit. I didn't know if I'd make it back to NamesCon, but then somewhere around about July, I actually committed and said, hey, I'm going. I was able to purchase my ticket. It wasn't at that $299 rate, but it was at whatever rate the going rate was then. But then a lot of people, what happens is they tend to wait till the last minute, and then they wind up having to pay, $600 for a standard ticket or $1,000 for a VIP ticket. So all that to say that coming back to the Names Pro post, there are a lot of people who are upset who don't necessarily see the value, but the argument goes, hey, you waited. If you've attended NamesCon before, you know that the best time typically is right after that event, whatever they're offering. If they're offering it at a substantial rate, you already know that a standard ticket is $700, $600, $700. You already know that a VIP is going to cost you $1,000. So if they offer something at a reduced rate, take the rate then. I mean, what's the worst thing if you decide not to go? You're out of $200. That's better than having to wait, figure out, oh, I can go, and then, have to drop $700 to $900 or $500 more than what was originally offered. So that being said, with all of that and all the smoke and everything coming around it, my prediction is, as they move from Las Vegas and as they choose a new venue, I believe they may drop the price by 20%. I have no insight into that. I'm just really speculating, going out on a limb that hopefully with the change of location, it will drop the prices. So that is prediction number 5, that NameCon reduces ticket pricing by 20%. NameCon, if you're listening, please make this happen. Number 6 then is that in 2019, over-leveraged domain investors will forfeit undervalued domains due to non-renewals. I don't necessarily have a method or a way of measuring this, but that's just kind of my sense based on where things are with the economy, government shutdown. Things have a way of just playing themselves out, especially within the domain industry. And so it's been a little over a decade since we had the Great Recession. So it's one of those time periods where you just start kind of thinking, man, we're about due for something. Who knows what this is? I don't want it to necessarily be bad, but hey, what goes up must come down at some point, and we'll just live in the ebbs and flows. So if you are over leveraged as a domain investor, you certainly look to, trim back your portfolio, but at the same time, be mindful in how you do it, in terms of you want to make sure that you can, and make sure that you're not, using, I guess you'd say, the bill money to be trying to domain. You want to make sure that your domain efforts can pay for themselves for reinvestment. And so I'd trim back your portfolio, and, if you can sell domains for, you may not hit a home run, but you may hit a single. Hey, get that single. Get the single while you can, because there is coming a time, winter is coming, and it will be cold. And you don't want to be the guy left holding the bag, or, as they say in musical chairs, when the music stops, your butt needs to be in a chair. So that's that. Don't be over leveraged and have to drop your domains due to non-renewals. That being said, number 7, moving right along, the crypto and blockchain related domains will rebound. So if you remember, throughout really 2017, things really heated up quite a bit with blockchain crypto domains, and then they just fell off. Bitcoin was going at something like 20,000, and it was it dropped from like 20 all the way down, I think, to like $3,000 to $4,000, something like that. And so, don't necessarily have all the facts around that, but that's just the flow and nature of things, in terms of that world. All that being said, a lot of domainers ran from investing in domains to getting into cryptocurrencies, while some stayed behind and they focused their efforts on, hey, since crypto, blockchain are getting hot, let's throw our money into these blockchain and crypto related domains. That being said, everybody knows that over like the last, I want to say at least 9, maybe even more months than that, there have been a slew of people just dropping crypto domains left and right. Now, to a certain extent, there are undervalued domains that are there, but it's like trying to find a needle in a haystack. Most of these domains probably aren't even worth the registration, but it's easier to say that when you're not vested in such domains. That being said, I believe that in 2019, based upon if Bitcoin, blockchain, or really Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies, if they make a rebound, then obviously crypto domains will rebound. Blockchain, I think the technology itself is just going to advance. So I think over the course of time that those names, blockchain related, will then pick up. So that's number 7. Is my prediction is that crypto and blockchain related domains will rebound. Only time will tell. Next up is one of these things that I go, man, it'd be great if it happened, but don't necessarily hold your breath. And it's that DSAD. So Domain Chain, Accidental Domainer, Josh and Travis, all those guys, as well as Rick Schwartz, will start their respective video blog series or some sort of podcast show. Not together. I think that the DSAD crew will do their own show. And to a certain extent, I'm kind of banking on that they will. Just kind of some of the hints that I've seen or read that Shane was kind of contemplating about, doing a show. That being said, Rick Schwartz is back and blazing it up on his own blog in terms of essentially writing, it seems like, if not once a day, 2 to 3 times a day. He's certainly not on Facebook or Twitter anymore, or rather Twitter, we know that he's not on. And so it would be interesting if Rick did his own video series. Obviously he writes most of these things, but I think it would be quite interesting to see if a video series from either of the parties would resonate within the domain industry. My guess is that it would. But like I said, this is I'm only speculating. I have no insight into what either of them have a desire to do, nor do I really want to put words into their mouths that they will. But like I said, it's a prediction. We're speculating, but don't hold your breath on it happening. So that's prediction number 8. The DSAD and Rick Schwartz will start their own respective video series to discuss domain name investing. Last but not least, we've already talked about NamesCon once. You know what? Might as well end it on NamesCon. And so the 9th prediction that I have for 2019 is that NamesCon will either select Texas, Florida, or California as its new destination. I wanted to get into the cities, but then the more I started thinking about it, I was like, man, there are a number of great cities that NamesCon could land in. Obviously, it's in Las Vegas. Las Vegas is, it's one of those places where some people say, hey, it never gets old. That being said, though, what I'm hoping, I can tell you, this is what I'm hoping, that NamesCon will arrive, will come to stay for a while here in Austin, Texas. I think Austin would be a great spot in terms of, we have an international airport, people can get in and out. Obviously, it's the music mecca of the world. From every other corner or every corner, you get a taste of Austin, whether it's, the various types of music, different genre of music. So Austin is just a moving place. Obviously, it is a tech hub. Apple's here. Matter of fact, Apple just spent, I believe, like $1 billion to start building on a 2021 opening of I want to say it's like a second headquarters or just another campus here. And so tech companies are coming here by the droves, as well as just being started here. I mean, we have Capital Factory, Tech Ranch. There are a number of startup incubators that are here that people have launched from. Just a number of amazing companies. Indeed, Facebook's here, Google's here, as well as WP Engine. So if you use WordPress, they're here. They're based in Austin. And so my hope is that after this year's final show, NamesCon show in Las Vegas, that NamesCon will likely select Austin, Texas. That's what I'm hoping for. But remember, the prediction was that they will either select from 3 states, Texas, Florida, or California. NamesCon, let's make Austin, Texas happen. So that's it. That's all I have for you today. Those 9 predictions for 2019, which, to recap real quick, are Google's .app domain extension swells to over 550,000 registrations by the year end. Number 2, NamesCon right of the dot live auction garners $2 million. And so we'll see if that happens. Number 3, 7figure.com domain sales reported by DN Journals year to date, or by year end 2019. Number 4 is that 3 new domain extension sales of $750,000 will be reported by DN Journal. Those sales will happen, and then they will be reported. Number 5, NamesCon reduces ticket prices by 20% for shows that start 2020 and move forward. Number 6 is that over-leveraged domain investors will forfeit undervalued domains due to non-renewals and likely due to the economy collapsing. Number 7, that crypto and blockchain-related domains will rebound just as the Bitcoin or cryptocurrency markets will rebound. Number 8, that DASD.com as well as Rick Schwartz, they will launch their own respective video series. And last but not least, NameCon selects Texas, Florida, or California as its new destination. And so with that, we're out of time. Thank you, listeners, for tuning in to Kickstart Commerce, where we share search marketing and domain name strategies to help grow your business. Please subscribe to this podcast via iTunes, Google Play, Stitcher, or Podbean. Last but not least, please visit kickstartcommerce.com to subscribe to the weekly newsletter, sharing tips and tricks about the disciplines of digital strategy. Thanks, and that's all for now.